Alright, so we are doing exercise 9F, and this is question 6. It reads, in Annabelle's class, 17 students own an iPhone, 7 own an iPad, and 4 own both. The very first thing we do before we get into A and B is simply represent this in a Venn diagram. So we're told that 4 students own both. So I'm going to put that 4 in the middle here. We're also told that 17 students own an iPhone. I was going to say own an iPhone 7, but 17 students own an iPhone. So that means 13 students only own an iPhone and 4 own both, and that brings us to 17 in total. So too, 7 own an iPad. Well, if 4 own both, that means 3 will be here, because 4 and 3 will get us to 7. So now that I've drawn up my Venn diagram, I can now answer these questions. So what is the probability that a student owns an iPad given that they own an iPhone? So the way I could represent this is the probability that a student owns an iPad, I'm going to have to write it out, an iPad, given, this line means given, they already own an iPhone. So given they own an iPhone, what's the chances that they own an iPad? So I'm going to get my highlighter here, and I'm going to go to my iPhone bit. I'm going to highlight everything in my iPhone bit. I'm going to go here, just highlight everything here. So given they own an iPhone, so I'm looking in the iPhone bit. I know they own an iPhone. So I could say that I know that I'm dealing with all these students. So I'm dealing with 17 students. The 17 students who own an iPhone, and I'm saying, well, what's the likelihood that they own an iPad? So then I would get another highlighter and say, well, these are the students. We can't see that one. Let's go. Oh, that's an even uglier color. Let's go back to blue. These are the students that own an iPad. So that means I'm going to have 4 out of 17 being my probability, because I'm looking at my iPhone bit, realizing I'm dealing with 17 students who have an iPhone, because that's an already given fact. They own an iPhone. And now I'm saying, what's the probability that they also own an iPad? Well, that's going to be 4 out of my total of 17 students. Now we go to B, and it's asking, what's the probability that a student owns an iPhone given that they own an iPad? So here, it's just going to be the exact same logic. So I'm asking, what's the probability that they own an iPhone given, that line is given, they have an iPad? So this time, I'm looking at my iPad circle. Can I rub this out? Look at that. That's pretty good. So now, I'm looking in my iPad circle. I'm just dealing with things within my iPad circle. This is where I live now. And I'm saying, I know that there's a total of 7 students with an iPad, 4 plus 3, or just right here, it tells me 7. There are 7 students who own an iPad. And I know that of those 7, we have 4 who own an iPhone. So I would have 4 here, 4 out of 7. And they're going to be my answers to A and B. Hopefully this clarifies what they mean if any of you got stuck.